So I said, no, the dumbest animal in the jungle is a polar bear. I gotta go. Hey, what's up, Scott Walker here with Imagination Creation Films, and yeah, sorry about that. Today is Friday, March 31st, 2023. At some point, I'm gonna sit here and live stream 3035. It's it'll be 110 years from now plus two, and I probably still won't have a good, clean, simple, working live stream. Hopefully the audio is working. Y'all tell me if the audio sounds good, if it's not messed up. StreamYard is really getting on my nerves lately. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing. We will have a guest on today talking about a new invention, but not quite yet. It's got a little bit of time to get that working. Everybody do a roll call. Let me know if the audio good, looks good, sounds good. Got that? Good. I'm encouraged because literally 7 minutes before this live stream, I had no video, I had no audio. I was disheveled just a bit there. Let's see here. Looks good. Sounds good. Hello, Eric. Tim says, ayo, hello. What accent is that? Hey, Scott. Happy Friday, sir. Happy Friday, Elysium. Let's see here. Jed, did you get your joke? I like doing those, by the way. Those are a lot of fun. I just have to come up with, interesting ways to do it. And I will almost certainly have to get up and run around quite a bit during this because, literally had no time. Literally, I love the word literally. It's like the coolest word of the kids today. All the kids like to say literally, because literally things are literally a problem. And I'm just, I'm a big fan of it. I am going to power up this over here and show because, people are interested, and I'm happy to share. Let's see if this all comes up just right, because, I did get to go to the restroom beforehand, and I even pulled focus. Wow, aren't you proud of me? I pulled focus today. Weeks, what's up? How you doing? Happy birthday, bro. And thank you for being a supporter of this channel. You are always a wonderful and amazing supporter. Why am I not getting audio there? I should have one more audio or one more video because I want to show this. What am I not getting? So we got video there, we got video there, we got video there. So then I must have unplugged something. I mean, it wouldn't be a Skyballgum live stream if I wasn't wearing shorts. Yay! And something wasn't working. I mean, where is it? Well, okay. Which one do I have? Of course, I have the wrong one. Oh, I know why. Duh, hello. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty smart when I want to be. Yeah, well, apparently I just opened up my maps too. That'll be up here in just one moment because I forgot that I was feeding that camera with wireless. So, good times and noodle salad. Y'all know that movie, that joke? It's not that channel. Is that gonna work? Hey, it's working. There we go. Let's see here. Okie dokie. Let's go through here real quick. Ali, hello, Ali. How is your delicious steak? Luca, hello, Luca. Yep, Matt Weeks. Can't wait for NAB. I can't either. I'm actually getting really excited. Eric says, as opposed to figuratively. Yes, indeed. Evan, hello. Loved the GI6S video. GI6S. I don't even know what that is. What's a GI6S? What is, I don't know what that is. Did I do that? Maybe there's another cool Scott out there. Oh, love the, oh. Yeah, that's astute of you, Evan. Gone in 60 seconds. I did not figure that out. Okay, we've got our guest coming in here. 1 second. I just wanted to get through here real quick. Supplemental gone in 60 seconds. Thank you. It's crazy warm right now. Got to watch out for tornadoes, though. It's funny because when I first read that, I said, in my brain it read tomatoes. And I don't know why you need to watch out for tomatoes, but be careful of those tomatoes. Hey, Gregory says, thumbs up. Cool. Give me like 2 minutes. Jed says, Scott, how do you fight gas, gear acquirement syndrome? Simple. Run out of money. That's what I do. I do it all the time. Gone 60 seconds. Thanks, Holly. Kevin, hello, Kevin. How are you? All right, real quick. Let me pop this up if I can. What's the must-see things at NAB? We'll talk about that in just one moment. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Is this going to work? No, because why would it work? I mean, that just seems silly. Okay, MPE 1. Let's see. Hold on. Almost there. This is my first time live streaming, folks. Let's see here. I got to hit that. I got to hit that. And I got to hit that. And I got to hit. Wait, what? How's that there? That should not be there. It should be there. So I got this one. And I got this one. There we go. So just for fun, and of course this is out of focus for me because it's on this right here. I just wanted to show this briefly. It is a little dark on the live stream. That is not how it actually looks. It's dark because of the ATEM Extreme, but this one right here is Komodo color. This one is Komodo monochrome full spectrum. And these are the kind of side-by-side tests I'm doing here for you wonderful folks. Where did it go? Did I just power it off? Or did figures? Well, okay. Hold on. Oh, I see. Yes, that would be a problem. Well, that's your quick test. That's it. That's all you get. Sorry, I need to change batteries there. The side by side. So the it looks very similar. So I took the color or the color Komodo and desaturated it in camera, and they look similar, but they're not. It's you can't just take Komodo or camera and desaturate it and get the same look. And we'll go into that one pretty soon. Okay, let's let me think. It says Gregory is saying this is his first time too. That's right, because my StreamYard went black. I have no idea if I'm live streaming or not. Hopefully I'm back. We'll wait for me to see my hand moving. Is my hand moving? Yeah, there I am. Okay, cool. Okay, so there we go. I would like to introduce this man right here, Gregory Carades, I think. You are muted, by the way. I think. Well, I muted you. Let's add you. Let's see if you are. You're muted. It says you're muted. The guest can't unmute your guest. Their mic is.
How is that?
It connected? There we go. There we go. So, welcome, Gregory. How are you? Do you hear me?
Gregory, whatever you want to call me. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you listening? Are you listening to the live stream, or are you listening off of StreamYard?
Considerable lag.
Yeah. Don't listen to the live stream. Listen to StreamYard.
Damn, I was listening through the. Why is that? How about now?
Now I got you. Do you have me now, quick? Any delay?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, no delay, I guess.
Okay, good.
One, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, you said.
Okay.
There we go. This is all part of the fun, and StreamYard does not make it any easier, especially lately. But is it Carides? I swear, I asked you once, you clarified.
Yeah, it's Carides.
Carides.
Yeah.
Carides.
Well.
Carides.
You put the accent on the second syllable.
Carides.
Yeah, that's better.
You say it one time.
Just call me Greg. It's Gregory.
Hey, all right, I like it.
Yeah.
So Greg has been. Well, he's been busy, and he's been busy doing some cool things, and I'm going to pop him up here and let him go full screen so that you don't have to see me sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Well, and let him explain what you've got, what you've done, why, and also let people know where you come from and where, who are you, that kind of thing. So let's go to solo mode. There you go.
Well, okay, this live stream is coming to you from the island of Corfu in Greece. And during the pandemic and a couple of years before, I've started to have enough of a very common problem in the VFX and post-production world, where you have to stabilize or correct some footage that is shaky when you're using full focus motors, and it could even ruin a shot. And it kind of pissed me off because even during regular productions, which I attended, we had to do retakes and reshoot, and sometimes it's impossible to do that because you kind of only get one shot. So people ended up sending me footage to correct, which is not always an easy thing to do. If everything's out of focus, if your motor has skipped a gear, if so many variables. If the lens is a bit wobbly, and your lens could be anchored down using a base plate, using a lens support, your motor could be anchored as best as you could possibly get it, but it could still introduce some wobble or many problems, as I mentioned before. So during the pandemic, we were all trolling our thumbs, and I kind of got to play with my 3D printer, and I developed a solution for that. Scott, stop me if there's any questions.
No, you're good. Go right ahead.
Okay, so
side by side is here.
Okay, so enter the LensCuff, which at first it was called the relativity mount, because it kind of changed the point of reference between yep, there you go, you've got one too. And you've been using it.
Yes.
So it changed the point of reference from attaching a lens to the rails of a base plate and that base plate to the camera. And that's a whole lot of connections that either one of them could be a weak link to the chain. And it would also bulk up the entire rig. So I came up with this solution so you can have your motor attached directly. Is it focusing? Come on, hide my face. Is it seriously?
Yep,
There it
yep.
is. Yeah, anyway, so you can have, hide my face? Yeah, there we go. So you can have the motor. Yeah, I know you've got the same problem. Anyway, you can attach the motor directly to the lens. And in doing so, you eliminate several problems, as I mentioned before. And you make the entire rig all that more compact. And it comes in quite a few sizes to accommodate pretty much any lens, with some step-up rings to accommodate either non-standard lenses, some stills lenses, or what have you. Anyway, well, that's not going to show up well on the live stream. Anyway,
I'll show some close up here in a moment.
Okay, cool.
So I want to show a couple here as well, just so people can see what we're talking about. So this is the LensCuff mounted on two different cameras. This is the FX30, and it's mounted directly to the lens. So now, I mean, you can remove the motor directly from it, but it's attached to here, and that solves a couple of things. One of the things that it solves is, what we're concerned all the time with, Komodo having an RF mount, and we're converting it to PL or converting it to stuff. If we don't have a physical lock connection to our mount to our Komodo, well, you can over torque and start to slip a little bit the lens mounting there. It's under extreme conditions, but it can happen. In this case, where, here's Dragon, the LensCuff is on there, you can't. The torque of the gear will not affect the mount because it's directly attached to the lens. These are two examples of using the LensCuff. It was rather interesting. I'm gonna steal from you just for a moment here, Greg. Greg's been talking about this for a while and talking about the ideas of what it does. And at first, when he was telling me about it, I'm like, I wonder what I would use it for, when it would come in handy, why would I want to do it? And when he shipped it out for me to play with, literally that day, I was shooting Gone in 60 Seconds intro, and I got it. And I was like, oh, let me check it out, and it immediately solved a problem that I was having, which I did mention in the Gone in 60 Seconds video, which was I needed to get the motor. So this is the Kessler motion control motor on here. They do make a smaller one, but it's still it's not connected right now, but it still sticks out a little bit. And if you run rails from the bottom and you mount it down there, which is a pretty standard practice, it's in the way. So I can't go down and get really, really close to the desk, which was where I was shooting. I was able to put that motor up high. Some people are like, well, you could put rails on top. You could, but look how compact and light this is. When you're talking about adding rails, you got to add a mount on the top. You got to add the rails. You got to add the support. You got to do all of that. Now it's just right on the lens itself. And I'm using it on stills, but you could use it on a variety. But it truly solved a problem right off the bat, which kind of shocked me. And it also made me change my initial, I wonder what I would use this for, to, why didn't I think of that? So, Greg, go through your mindset. What was your big solve here? What were you wanting to solve?
Well, the idea was to actually eliminate all the wobble and all of the weak links in the chain between camera base or camera cage, rails, however long they may be, to reach the lens. Hold on, because it's the lens. Anyway, so however long the rails may be to reach that point in the lens where you have to attach. And now you can just have the LensCuff over there. So you can have the motor attached directly to the LensCuff. And it's got a quarter 20 screw in the bottom. You can't see it. Maybe you can see it over there. And you can use stubby little 15mm rails and just attach the motor as close to the focus and iris and zoom rings as possible. And you could even turn it upside down. And then you could even rig the time of flight sensors or what have you, just in that same spot on the lens. Have you thought of that?
I did not think of that.
Yeah. There you go.
Is it, Alicia wrote back, is there a product linked or is it available? And the answer is, I was going to let you answer.
Oh, well, the answer is going to appear at the end of the live stream.
So yes, it is available. There's going to be a special flash sale, I think is that what we're calling it, at the end of the live stream for a very short period of time, and then it will be available regularly after that. So talk about the LensCuff. Talk about what you're buying. You don't need to mention price. We'll deal all that when.
Well, it's a patented solution that comprises of a way to attach your follow focus motors, accessories to control lens functions, directly onto a lens. And you're either buying a single one that would accommodate one or a few specific diameters of lenses, or you could even get a whole set which has 4 different sizes. It goes all the way from 60mm all the way to 114. So you could mount it either someplace across the body of the lens or at the very front. What is that?
Yep.
That is sure.
Let me widen it out here. Hold on. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway. So you could either buy them as singles or as a set. If you buy them as a set, you get a nice nano custom case with a set of 4 stubby rails and a set of sprigs to help with cable organizing. And well, there's been a little delay because, well, everything is kind of hard to organize these times. But we will be having, hopefully soon, a custom color for sprigs for the LensCuff.
Okay, so this is the smallest one, right? Yeah, pretty sure that's the smallest one. There's 5 sizes. I don't remember the numbers. You can rattle them off again.
Yeah.
Let me add it as a comment. So the sizes are, what are the diameters? 58 millimeter?
58 and a half.
Okay, 58.5.
Using some spacers, but the LensCuff themselves come in 65, 75, 85, 95, and 114 millimeters.
95 and 114. There we go. Now I can display that. Oops. If I could. There we go. So that way people can see. So this is the largest, and they're really nice. They're a machined product. They have a what is the coating? Because it feels soft, but it's hard. There was concern that it might scratch lenses. It's not. It's I don't know how to describe it. What do you describe this?
It's hard anodized matte, stealth matte color.
So you would take it, you would put it around the lens, flip it over, tighten it up, and then you can use the included little rods with cable holder into the end, and then you can mount your motor directly where you need to. Let's see here. Let's see. Ollie says, "Hello, lighter gimbal rig." Yup. And then Tim. Oh, Greg, did you pause? I think Greg disconnected. It wouldn't be a Sky Balcom live stream if you didn't. Let me. Okay. Well, I'll wait for him to come back. There you are. Go ahead and disconnect and reconnect. Should be working, right? Let's see. We're there or we're not there. Yeah. If he can reconnect. He's international, and I am in the middle of nowhere. So it's this is technology at its finest. Really tying everything together. Tim says the 72-hour flash sale starts tonight, and it'll be available on a couple of Facebook groups. That you may know those groups just by the nature of some of these deals that we've talked about in the past on stuff. There's Greg. We'll bat him back. Hey, you there?
Hi.
That happens. I thought you were just like really, really intent on what I was saying.
No, I didn't hear a thing. At some point, the connection completely cut off.
I was talking about the cuff. You clamp it around and then tighten it up, and then you can use your rod to go right in. There's a little cable management at the end. And then if it's an off size from your lens a little bit, there are spacers, and they're laser etched on here, so you can know which one is going to fit for which one. You place it in there, and then you can get a secure, tight fit. And it's patented. You spend a lot of time designing and refining, and I mean I know we've been talking about this for quite a while. It's
Oh, yes, we have.
It's become a passion to bring it to market, and it's well worth it. Let's see if I can get it to. There we go. There's the LensCuff. So you can see that there's 1/4-20 mount on the bottom with locating pins, and it's fairly simple. I can't believe this is focusing. Wow, first time ever. Very.
Some for everything.
Yeah, it's a very simple, and I say simple because you don't need something to be complicated, but you need it to work. And this is as simple as you can get, and it works reliably to mount motors or almost anything to your lens itself. Let's see here.
Let me fill in a few blanks.
Sure.
So we've got a lifetime warranty, and we've got a NATO certified. I don't know. Don't ask me how I got that. manufacturer for this. Yeah, so it's actual mil spec for what that's worth. And well, these things will be when you buy a single or when you buy a set, you also get these little pouches, which some people have said that maybe I should make some a bit larger to accommodate some screens or other accessories. Because, well, they're actual Alcantara, the Italian fabric, some of you may be aware of. And it's quite resilient.
They are very nice, and I need to go figure out where I put those. I pulled them out and set them to the side. Keep talking for one moment while I go grab some so I get a close up of it for everybody.
I'm going to talk about this thing here, which a friend helped design. It's seriously, come on, focus. There you go. I'll be sharing a picture of that. Anyway, that's a focus chart on the back. And on the front, that's a comic strip of some scenario where the LensCuff can be used. And, well, that's a pretty good quality focus chart that I'll be including for during the flash sale and probably a bit longer. And, well, what else? Any questions? Oh, got to wait for them to show up. Let's see.
Let's see if I can bring up some questions here while I figure out where my wife
I was
filed
inspired of the GDU, but actually I was inspired by the red DSMC pouches.
Tim says the pouch reminds him of the GDU lens cases, of the quality for sure. I forget where I put it. The material is really interesting. Scott and Greg are legends. Ha! Well, we'll see. Maybe Greg's more of a legend than I am. I haven't invented anything.
I'm a huge fan of Scott. Let that be said.
King says, box is kind of bulky. Will it fit in my 911 front? I believe it will. It's actually not that bulky. It's pretty small.
It's well, I haven't measured it, but it's
908.
But this big.
Let's see. I would grab a tape measure.
I don't have a 911. I don't have a 911 handy anywhere.
I don't either. I stopped driving 911s when the 912 came. No, wow, that's pretty sad. It's just one of those great live streaming days for Scott. He got nothing prepared anywhere. Okay. Let's see here. We'll go back
well, the improv is great.
Let's see. There we go. Elysium says, thank you for innovating while some giants tend to sleep. We need more innovators like you, Greg. Very, very cool.
Appreciate it.
Matt Stanley says, fan of Greg's work. Keep it up. Very, very cool. Immediately when I opened it up, I wanted one for my DSMC3 monitor, the case. Or no, you were talking about the bag. Yeah, I see.
Actually, the ones I'll be making for the focus chart, they will fit that monitor, the 7-inch one.
That's pretty cool. Who has, I mean, there's like 30-something people out here. Who has like immediate questions on the LensCuff that we can get Greg to answer and discuss? I know, what is the flash sale kit going to include? You're going to get.
Well, you can order a full set, and those will be shipping out first. I'll have 20 ready to ship out around the 10th, with a couple of days, give or take, because we're still waiting for the cases from Nanook. And
so there's 20 complete sets that'll be available basically immediately, about 2 weeks-ish.
And the flash sale will also allow you to have custom logos on the inside, on the foam insert. Or, yeah, you can show yours if you want.
Yep.
And at the base of each one of these. So you could actually brand your product. You could brand your equipment and have it along with you on set.
Let's see if it'll focus. Hey, you can see my little cute little IC films. Isn't it cute? That's Greg having a lot of fun with a laser. And so I mean, the beauty is like there's a bunch. I didn't grab a bunch, but there's he's got a whole bunch of various sizes of. It'd be nice if I had my thing of little rings, and they're flexible. So they're what are they made out of?
It's a biodegradable polymer that's until it starts to degrade in about 10 years or under specific conditions, it will be indestructible. Like you can bend it all the way, even the thickest ones. Allow me to demonstrate.
Yeah, I don't
so
want to
this is for the 114 millimeter one. Oh, actually, I'm not that strong.
It's pretty bendy.
Yeah, it's pretty bendy with memory, so that it will return to its spec shape.
And if there's a size that isn't immediately available, you'll be able to make some up that you can adjust. Yes. And
you need one for your 18 to 35 Sigma.
Yep. So on the 18 to 35, I had to use two of them sandwiched together, which doesn't matter. It's solid. There's no play in it whatsoever. But he's like, oh, I can just make one that fits two, no problem, or that fits it without having to use two. Piece of cake. And they're labeled, so you know which one to grab. So you're like, okay, I know the outside diameter of this is this. Grab that one, attach it to my 114, and then boop, away you go.
And if you want to improv, you could attach a bit of gaff tape to the inside and adjust to your liking. Even the wing nuts are custom, but in case you lose one, you could always use an M4 screw. Because the screw is standard, but the wing nuts are custom to make them small enough, but with a good grip. Again, the good grip is thanks to the anodizing.
Yeah, I'm a big non-fan of these single lever type, which are very, very common. It took me a while. I got Kessler to switch over to something like this, and then Greg designed his. And I mean, these are great. You can really torque on these, and they are also anodized as well.
So the actually torque, that's the kind of tagline player boards that I was going for. So torque your motos. Like you've never before.
You can, which you can definitely do. It's quite a bit. Hold on, I'm just gonna turn off my air conditioner, get it down. It's warm today.
Challenge accepted.
Who's got some questions? Let's we got a lot of people out here. Let's find out, what you're thinking that what interests you about this? What are your questions? What do you think it doesn't solve? Because it might solve it. And then again, it might not. You never know. But you could attach multiples of these if you wanted to actually put, say, an iris motor or zoom motor, and you wanted to keep it compact. I mean, this is a little tiltomotor on.
The IRIX made motors.
Yep.
I mean, IRIX.
IRIX.
Okay.
Yeah. The little tiny tilta on. That way you can have full control. You can do it with sitting lenses or stills lenses. I mean, I'm a big proponent of stills around here because I like to keep everything small and lightweight. But it works on, you know, any almost any size lens, really. Anything that you want to feel confident about, you know, keeping that motor locked in right where it is. You can really, really bear down on it and get it in there.
Actually, there's a few more things that this allows you to do.
Go for it.
It kind of saves you the pain of worrying about the lens mount, especially for vintage lenses, because you may have seen that, like Scott mentioned, there's play when you change the direction of the motor, not especially when you reach the ends, just when you change direction. And so with this, it's all just a closed system on the lens.
Yep.
There you go. Anyway, so motor, lens, nothing else.
And you're doing that. I mean, it really does. It makes well, I mean, you can't slip anywhere or move anywhere on the mount. It's hard attached to the lens. And, you know, like you were talking about in VFX work, where it absolutely is critical that everything not move.
And even action scenes where you get a oneer or you got some explosions or what have you, if you're Michael Bay, then no matter your Michael Bay budget, you may not be able to rebuild the building and blow it down again on time.
Right.
So that could save you lots of days on set. Or even if you have vintage lenses, you may want to be delicate and not like twist the poor little mount. And so that saves you a lot of pain as well. So
and if you're
anyway,
having to adapt lenses, you're using multiple adapters, and you know, that can all mess with it too. And the LensCuff solves that.
So let me.
All you have to do is cover your eyes. Just put your hands over your eyes. Just shield your eyes like that.
So I'm shielding my eyes, but
then you can't see.
anyway. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, now I can see pretty much, but I don't know if we can see clearly what's going on.
Let's see.
Anyway, I'm actually doing a calibration. Is it? There you go. And then I've got my controller here, and as you can see, I'm kind of moving it in every possible direction. And this thing is not going anywhere. It's just twisting, and it's rotating the focus gear. And that's all there is to it. Does it show? Never mind.
Yeah, it does show up. You can actually see it. When the light hits it just right, you can actually see it going. Now, if it makes it all the way to YouTube, we'll see. I don't know. Let's see. What do people think? Are people excited, or they're like, well, let's hear about the deal? Well, we can't talk about the deal yet. The deal is exclusive, so you all will have to join in right after the live stream.
So after the live stream, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, and these are solid rods. Trying to think of what else. Just guess.
What else? Well, I don't know.
Who's got questions? There's a lot of people out there. Everybody can't just be quiet.
I've got a question about pizza dough.
Okay. Ollie could probably help too.
Okay, cool.
Was pita or pizza dough?
Pizza
dough.
Pizza.
Oh, well then Ollie and I can both answer that. What's your question?
Okay, well, my toddler turns out she loves pizza,
Hmm.
and
Go
any
figure.
occasion we
A
get.
child that likes pizza? Well, I've never heard of that.
Well, actually, one of the first words she said was pizza, pizza, and more,
Well, yeah,
more
yeah,
pizza.
more. Right?
Yeah. So anyway, well, actually, I think that's something you have to answer on the Raw Cuts channel.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, this channel
So
is a
the thing
little bit of
is,
everything.
well, there's a fun in there.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Otherwise, what's the
Yeah,
point?
that's right. What he's basically saying is, if you haven't subscribed to the Raw Cuts channel, you should subscribe to the Raw Cuts channel. Because right now we're working through Asian food, lots of Chinese cooking. It's really delicious, actually. I don't understand what's going on with my grill. My smoker keeps my smoker's got a problem, and they're setting me apart, but it keeps alerting me that my temperature has reached, and it hasn't. So, how long have you been working on this?
Oh, I've been working on this since 2018. Well, at first it was just, oh, shoot, what am I going to do? How am I going to solve this? And then I set it to the side and I corrected some footage and I went out shooting, and one thing led to another, and then we got the pandemic. And that's when I got a lot of free time to think it over.
Yep.
And then, well, first few months I filed for the patent, got it granted, well, a couple of months. When did I send you?
It was about a month ago, I thought, or a month and a half ago.
Yeah, well, a couple of months ago when we started talking about it more openly.
Yep. It's
And yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a patented design, and where did the name LensCuff come from?
Well, the LensCuff. I mean, at first it was called the relativity mount because it's based on the point of reference, which changes from the base or some point on the camera that is off the lens to a point of reference on the lens. And so the theory of relativity came to mind, but then obviously you can't have a first AC ask for, hey, bring me a relativity mount on set, because that's not going to fly. So yeah, the first 3D printed model was 2 pieces using two quarter 20 screws, and it would lock on the lens. So in the beginning, that was it. And so it looked, when it was open, it looked like half a handcuff. So the LensCuff, I looked it up. There's nothing like that on set unless you're shooting for the cop show. But then again, the assistants wouldn't be running to the props department.
Right.
So yeah, bring me a LensCuff. Bring me a cuff. It's quick, it's easy, and
it resembles a cuff, so it's easy, and you need it for your lens, so no one's going to be stumbling as to what the name of it is. It's pretty slick. I mean, it was kind of funny because, like, literally when I was shooting the Gone in 60 Seconds stuff, it immediately solved a problem that I was like struggling with, and I was like, okay, makes perfect sense now.
actually, I really love that. I love the song. So when I'm driving, I just turn it on and replay. Well done on that.
That was mostly Bill. I wrote the lyrics, but Bill wrote the song. He did the remake of the song.
Well done, Bill.
Everybody's so quiet today. Come on, people. Let's talk.
Yeah,
See
there's
here.
40 people not talking.
This is wild. Let's see.
Oh, there's 24, and then I don't know.
Oh, there's 26
Hey,
right
Alex
now.
Thompson. Yeah.
So we've got, what are your thoughts on the X-Fold Dragon X4 Cinema drone? I want to be able to fly my Red Gemini. I'm actually not a big drone knowledge person. Are you, Greg? Do you work with big
Yeah,
drones?
I'm a certified drone operator, but never flown anything FPV. I think that sounds like an FPV.
I mean, it's big. It wants to fly a Gemini with numerous Tokina Vista primes. I mean, that is no small. That's a heavy lift. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I have no knowledge of value. But I do have some friends that I could bring on at some point and talk about it. So the Sprigs, let's see. Dave says DSMC2 is still sexier than ever. I agree. Let's see. Tim says that the coating is hard, but it hasn't scratched any of my lenses.
Exactly, and the finished product, the final production version, will have a little more rounded edges. And I'll replace yours soon.
No, you don't. I mean, these feel great. I don't. They're definitely rounded. I mean, they're not sharp in any way. I just keep noticing all these little details that went into this. Let's see here. Thompson says, "Congrats on the launch, Greg." Tim asks, besides the kits that are in stock, can you order, say, a single kit with all the same size? Say, if you wanted to fit out an entire set of lenses.
Exactly. We will be adding that in the store, but for now, you just got the. What's the poker term? When you get
Full house?
Yeah, when
Five
it's,
of a kind?
Yeah, well, five of a kind, four of a kind is what Tim is talking about.
Right. Five of a
But,
kind would be cheating on single deck poker.
Exactly. So same as the LensCuff, because you got
Royal flush, full house.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They did this in 2016. What was that, Jed? Full house.
Correct. Maybe I should rename those on the website.
Maybe I worked at Panavision Melbourne. Interesting. Let's see here. Man, everybody's so quiet today. Why is everybody so quiet? What? Well, come on, people. Just ask any question. It's all good. Greg's here. He's able to answer questions on the LensCuff, but he's also able to answer VFX questions.
I can answer, VFX questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, just load them up here. We got a guest. Let's make it happen.
VFX, mocap.
Greg does a lot of work with that. If you want to ask him how to pronounce his name, I've never asked him that myself. Man, everybody's so quiet. It's so funny. What does that do?
Well, it happens.
Yeah, it does happen. What do you think is going to happen for NAB? You think there's anything you think is going to get announced?
Well, I hope I'll be able to fly in.
You planning on it?
Definitely want to.
That's cool.
Oh, by the way, did you, before the NAB talk, because it's happened, I think, earlier today, Canon released the new firmware for the R5, so you get super resolution of sorts.
And R3, or what other R? Yeah, I've seen a couple of stills that people have posted, real people, not Canon, and I'm not so sure. Well, I definitely don't see 400 megapixels. I see it almost feels like they're upscaling. I mean, I know what they're doing, but the results don't necessarily add up, which is most interesting. I know Phil. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've done super resolution before as, well, where's Phil Holland? He should be the person to ask about these things.
Yeah, Phil's done
anyway,
a lot of testing with it, yeah.
Anyway, so for super resolution, you can't go with, the R5 just takes 9 shots. You can't just put them side by side in a grid and call that 400 megapixels.
Well, it's offsetting the pixel ever so slightly, so it's microscopic changes.
Yeah, it is, but then you would have to average the pixels, and I would just go for like 18 megapixels, 90, something like that, no more.
Yeah, like
for actual gained resolution.
Right. Shift side would be about those that are more. I mean, because you got to think, in order for it to do that, it literally is going to have to do distribution.
You've got your Droid modulator now.
Oh, is it my audio not good now?
Oh, now I can hear you well.
Okay, there we go. That's my internet doing its thing. Yeah, a shift up and a shift over would be enough, but I mean, they're having to do, like you're saying, averaging and calculations. It's ultimately a little bit of pixel shift, and then the rest of it is upscaling-ish. Here's Phil. He says, "Yep, yeah, tested it for a few days. The implementation is a bit odd, and honestly, everybody manufacturers who use the IBIS high stitch is doing somewhat wrong." Interesting.
Yeah, they are.
Paravision has holes attached to their lenses? Interesting. I've not seen that. Do you have an example of that, Jed?
Okay. Well, that's Panavision.
This would be the LensCuff for the everyday shooter. Let's see. I think when we get to Gen 2 and a bit of refinement of this tech, the possibility of offsetting the CFA with IBIS could lead to a decent RAW file, but nobody does that. It cries in grid pattern artifacts.
Exactly what I saw. I shot some focus charts. That's how I saw all that.
Lens. I'm interested in what Jeb was talking about. Just to understand what he's referring to. I don't know that. What other? So has anybody else installed it? Tim installed it. You installed it. Phil's obviously installed. Phil probably had it installed for 6 months. Let's see here. There we go. He's got a comment here. I'll pop it up as soon as it shows up. Come on. There we go. Greg, after a few months of testing the LensCuff, one thing I think would be rad is an offset 15 millimeter rod for certain motor lens configuration. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yes, that's coming, Phil.
There you go. Just a little boop boop. That makes sense.
As well as like a smaller, like a step down for 12 millimeter rods for the Ronin RS2, RS3 rails. Exactly like a dog bone.
Right. Smiley face. Jed says your idea is very cool. That's cool. All right, come on. Let's see. Phil says exactly. So what do you think we're going to see at NAB? You think anybody's going to come up with anything massive?
I think massive is quite the opposite of what they're going. They're going for smaller. No. Well, there's some mention of Blackmagic, the gateway camera.
Mm-hmm. LensCuff is very
So,
useful, not just for gimbals, but actually fantastic for car rig. A car rig would be good. I mean, yeah,
drones
literally
as well.
anytime you need to keep it as tiny as possible. I mean, this is not, it's not sticking out any further than just the actual mount for the tripod. So, I mean, you could put it on a little suction cup mount up there, and now you got focus. Hard not to like that.
Actually, that was one of the first uses. I put it on the dashboard of my car.
Yeah, I could have used this in a car scene we were doing about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I could have used it. I didn't have it then, but it would have been quite nice for that. What do you think? Like, yeah, I know Phil was just talking the other day with E3 being basically canceled.
Oh yeah.
The question comes: is this going to affect other conventions as well, or is it just an E3 thing? Got any thoughts on that?
Actually, lots of conventions have been canceled during the pandemic, but now they're all livening up again. So I don't know. Maybe it's specific to E3. Hopefully.
Yeah,
I mean, I like those gatherings.
Yeah, I do too, and I think people lose sight of what they're for, but maybe they don't. I mean, as a vendor, you know, you're going to spend say $100,000 to put in a booth. You need $100,000 of profit back in order for it to matter. And you know, I love going to these events, not just for seeing new products, but also interacting with people, and that's definitely I mean, something that doesn't pay back to a vendor. So yeah, it's kind of half and half. See, Phil says NAB has already been undergoing some transformation. You'll notice a fair bit of camera and lens manufacturers without booths, but they will still have other meeting rooms and venues. I know that's been happening for a few years. Definitely, Red was one of the first ones to do that. I don't even know if Red is going to be there at all. Let's see. Let's get Red control to LensCuff. Well, you could do that.
Yeah, I think it's possible. If you mean to
be able to control,
go through the external port into the focus motor, and then do autofocus. I think Miguel is working on that.
Could be. I was just talking to him yesterday. Didn't.
I think he dropped a hint. I'm not sharing anything secret. I think he dropped a hint on Facebook or Instagram, something.
That would be great.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, no kidding. Most production-centric companies are investing in Cine gear as it's more of a one-to-one ratio with people who are looking for camera lens light. This is true. James says Red is going to be at a hotel across the way. Wonder which one. I'll definitely go say hi.
If I make it, I'm definitely going there. Well, if they let me.
Right. Let's see. He probably is. Let's see. He is a boss. Yeah. Miguel is he's so much cooler than he comes off, and he comes off pretty cool. He's I really enjoy what he does and how well he does it too. It's kind of wild. Let's see. Well, what would you like to chat about, Greg?
Well, yeah, I want to fly to NAB now. That's all that's stuck in my head. Oh, and maybe get some sleep before my toddler wakes up. But As always, what I enjoy most is your live streams. Actually, I enjoyed the one with Shane Holbert.
Yeah, Shane was really really cool, and I feel so bad for Shane's with the audio issues that were happening, and I mean something I'm gonna have to figure out something here to be able to do this. The StreamYard has been a real royal pain in my rear, just getting audio, yeah, and the glitching in the audio. At least I'm not out of sync this time, which is truly weird. Phil says, I do wonder if DSMC3 can communicate with motors directly to the camera for iris and focus zoom through the menus. After that, it opens up the possibilities of autofocus with PL glass. I mean, I guess it would depend on the manufacturers and if they have open source or open, allow you access to the protocols that they're using. I'm not sure. Imagine that. I mean, autofocus PL. I mean, that would be rocking pretty hard there. I could see that being very very cool. Let's see. And Tim's like, that would be incredible. And all of a sudden, as soon as you get autofocus PL, you'll have all these DPs going, autofocus is the future. It's everybody else has been saying it forever. Yeah, that would make a nice little compact package for sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Let's get back up here. A couple of questions.
Oh, I forgot to mention just a little thing. Shipping wherever FedEx ships, like no North Korea and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
So adjust your expectations.
So I can't order North Korea. Fine. You'll see the North Korea social media post. Look, I just got the new LensCuff. It's
on TikTok.
Right. On TikTok, no less, right. I think Blackmagic will drop a box Cinecam. I do think so. I think they will.
Copycats. Well, it's not.
Well, the box. I mean, the box camera wasn't invented by Red for sure, but
it was perfected by Red.
It was definitely viable. I remember, was it when Canon came out with their little box thing years ago? I was like, well, that's an interesting format, but I didn't like the sensor that was in it. It was kind of horrible. And then Red comes out with 6K in a little tiny box, and everybody's like, I love boxes. Boxes are great.
And Red Raw.
And Red Raw, yes, no less. Let's see.
A key ingredient, you can't beat that.
Phil says, one thing that doesn't really come through via the live stream is how good the finger tight locking clamp is on these. Yes.
I spent some time on that. There's like 15 different variations of that. I went from lever clamps to pretty much everything you could possibly imagine.
And let's see here. Tim says, new Canon camera? Maybe. There might be. I'm hopeful that there will be at NAB. I don't know if they would announce it at NAB though. I mean, that doesn't seem like the right place for them to want to do it, but you just never know. Is this going to fit here? This is not going to fit here. I was just going to power up, get some more talking points going with the monochromes here.
Oh yeah, that's a huge talking point.
Get on there. Power up there. Power up there. And then we can power there. I've got a demonstration that I've done with the two cameras side by side that I found interesting, and I'll show a little bit here, but I'll have a 4K version up soon on the interwebs. Let's see here. Got it. Let's see here. Let's see. Greg did a good job on those wing nuts. Very solid. Did I not power up? Oh, that's awesome. There we go. And I didn't plug that in. Boy, it's my first time using the camera. All right. So the demonstration that I wanted to show, there we go, and there we go, was the way the colors work on, so we have that up. Let me put this up here. Let's see here. Let's see. I just want everything in camera and lenses. I hate cables. Yeah, I agree with you there. Someone does LensCuff for normal non-Vanavision people. Oh, there's Jared. Hey, Jared. Proud of Gregory. He did such an awesome job on this.
Well, Jared encouraged me, and when I read that article on FE Times, it kind of strengthened the drive to get this done and get this out there. Where he mentioned that you could, if you torque the lenses, then you get some issues with the lens mount. So actually, that's where the Torque Your Motors tagline was born, I think.
Torque your motor.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think one thing that's hard to digest for us is the pandemic did indeed delay a lot of things for 2 to 3 years in our industry. Many things that's true, quite a bit. And I kind of wonder how many things came and went during the pandemic without ever actually getting launched. That the relevancy of it no longer mattered.
And that made launching the Komodo even more relevant because it happened during the pandemic.
Yeah, it happened during the pandemic, and it continued to be teased, and it was something it was a bright spot in the world to look forward to. I have to say there's definitely a difference between the nucleus motor wing nuts and the LensCuff wing nuts. That's true. The little nice touch of the LensCuff of adding the cable regulars to the 50 millimeter rods and even the 1/4-20 slots to help keep the rig nice and tidy. I did have this moving at 90 miles an hour briefly, and it worked nicely. Wow, that's
good to know. 90 miles. Well, that's for Holland.
Yeah, exactly. When is he not going 90 miles an hour? It could be a car. It could be a vehicle in the air. Let's see here. All right, so I want to put this.
Could be a Tesla in space.
It could be. So let's see if I can. Let me get me out of this for a moment. There we go. So that's really dark. Unfortunately, that's the. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? There it is. I want to show this off. So again, this one is the one on the right, which is funny because it's actually opposite on my screen. But this one is the color Komodo. This is monochrome full spectrum. And what I want to do is I want to drop out one. Oops, I need to learn how to use my tools here.
Scott, full screen.
Full screen? Okay. All right, let me solo it. We'll do that. And I'll get out of it too because can you do multiple FIZ for LensCuff?
Well, you could attach up to 4, but
and the rod, I mean, the rod can go a bidirectional rod if you needed to. On both sides. Let's see here. So we're going to go So there's that. We're going to bring this up a little bit here. I'm going to blow this out. This is going to be fun. Find my lights here. There's the 100, 200. Bring that down. So we're going to kill the window, I think. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. Here. We're going to take these 100. Now, this one drops out. Got here, about to scream Rosebud. Rosebud. I was tinkering with my barista's. Okay, so let's take this. We are blasting white light right now through the window. Now, these are both set identically right here. This is color. This is full spectrum monochrome. So you can, and they're, is that in focus? Looks like it's in focus. There we go. Yep. Okay. So that's white light. I want to show it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move. I'm using the Aputure 600C, the Lightstorm 600C light through the window, and I'm going to change colors. And I'm going to use. We'll use 90% saturation. So here is yellow. So compare the two. So this is 50 degrees of hue. There's 90. So this is a light green. Here is 130. This is a dark green. Then 170 as we approach towards the blue and get a little teal. 210. And then here's 250 with blue. Again, color, monochrome. And then we get to magenta, 290. Get towards it. Uh-oh, something happened. Look at the difference. Well, here we are in reds. So we're at 81% saturation. Here's 100% saturation. And make sure it's still streaming there. And then we pull it back. I'm just going to decrease the saturation. Now we're at 60. Now we're at 50. So everything from about 30% saturation in the reds, which does make sense because at full spectrum, you're going to get a lot more reds because there's no block for it. But this is having some fun. And it's what you can do with skin that I found really, really interesting. And I'll have this up in 4K soon on the channel. But I found that I wanted to see the differences. There are differences in the two. It's not just you could desaturate and you get the same look. Monochrome, it's a little different. Well, full spectrum monochrome, it's a little different. Plus, wait till you see the noise or lack thereof of noise. I just didn't do that right. There we go. All right. The lack of noise is mind-boggling. Well, that's a blown out image. Let's pull that back. Lack of noise is incredible on these. I'll put you back in here, Greg.
Responding on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Just says, sorry, I missed a lot got back after the stream. Don't mind me. Don't change anything. Got it. Let's see. Phil, that's one of the things that I tested with the early pre-production versions on Premistas and Ingenues. Let's see here. Main, that monochrome. Yeah, the monochrome is, it's, I posted out there a lot of questions. I said, what are you interested in seeing? And I got a lot of great responses. Some of them I had kind of an idea. Some of them I had no idea. And one of the ones that I wanted to solve myself, which a lot of people do, is why monochrome? What is it about monochrome? Why would you want monochrome versus I could just desaturate? And I'm getting answers. There are answers to this, and I find that really cool. Also, a big shout out to, I think it was Luca for saying, hey, why don't we see if Scott could test the monochrome, and then for, of course, Jared for letting me test a monochrome out. But it is cool what it does. I mean, it's hard to well, if you look here, up here, there are differences, and it's kind of interesting. Again, this is color, this is monochrome. There's some interesting, yeah. Our beloved Komodo. I guess I put that up without being full screen. That's funny. Sorry. Phil says, monochrome to me provides a few fascinating things. Pure luminance without CFA. Yep. About 1.3 stops more light transmission. Yeah. And the ability to use very similarly to black and white film via filtration. Yes. Also the ability with full spectrum to do infrared and really get in there. Where do we hook up with the monochrome? Where do we hook up? Where do we get a monochrome? Is my question.
Ask Red for
sells them. Red sells them. They sell two versions. They sell. I was looking for this right here. They sell a version that's full spectrum, and then they sell one that has the IR cuts in there. So you can do. You'll get the same. You'll get the same IR cut OLPF that you would in color, but you'll also get the extraordinary low noise. I did my normal play and then ask questions with Mr. Graham, who is a legend, and it was interesting understanding, and I'll have to put it in my words what he said, because he's a brain and a half, if not two brains fully. But it's interesting what all is happening in the Komodo. And what was really funny, and this cracks me up, on the when I first powered up the monochrome, I noticed in the bottom right hand corner was the image format. I was like, oh, that's cool. Now there's the image format in the bottom right hand corner, so it's readily accessible. And I was like, wait a minute, white balance is not available. Where's the white balance? And then I was like, there's no white balance in monochrome. It took me a second. I was like, good job, Scott. Good job. Let's see.
Actually, since I think you enjoy the irony in some situations, I'm going to tell you about this. I've been bugging Jared for monochrome Komodo since the first Komodo was announced. The regular Komodo was announced, not released. And now, well, I spent all my funds for the LensCuff, and I don't have enough to get a monochrome.
unless everybody puts in their order on the special flash sale that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
That will be announced at the very end of the live stream of how you all can get your very first set of the LensCuffs. Then Greg can have a monochrome.
Yeah, well, or continue innovating and make some nice things.
But yeah, yep. There's that. But what if you were to innovate and make cool things with a monochrome Komodo?
Even better.
So we'll try this.
But actually, that full spectrum one sounds even better.
The full spectrum is wild because you definitely get. I'm gonna crank up the. So this is that's supposedly a, what is this? This is a 750 blocker. 760. So let's see. I didn't. It just came in, so I didn't get a chance to. That does not look. That's kind of weird. Nope, that's definitely. So there we go. So we can put them side by side here. Let me full screen this for a second. So we have this one is monochrome right here. So we'll put it on monochrome. So you can see what's coming through. And then this is the color. Nothing's coming through. So yes, that definitely does work. Okay, let's go back to that and that. Okay, oops, turn that off. Let's see. Do we have any more? Whoops, that's a red light. We're in the red light district. Yeah. Let's, you know what? Let's go.
I can answer something while you.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. Well, the question about having multiple focus motors on it. You can have two. Well, I've got two, but you could have more, and mount them either diagonally, or you could add one more over here, and so you could have focus, iris, and zoom,
or
on the same.
On the same one. But you could also mount a motor on the backside of the rod itself, so you could have two going through one cuff or going through one rod hole. So you could technically
one side
four.
of it.
Yeah,
exactly. What would you do for?
I don't know why you would do four. It would be a really cool lens. Let's see. What if you were rotating an anamorphic adapter on the front so you can get a wonky kind of drunk look?
Could be. That's one thing. Or
but then you're going to zoom and iris as well. Yeah.
Phil could answer if there's a motorized tilt or shift lens out there for cinema, because then you could get it.
Yep. Jared says, I say use your funds to keep developing. You can borrow my full spectrum for a while after Scott's done with it and have a go at it. There you go.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Let's see. Art says, didn't see it on site, so there might be a bulk affiliate link. I wish. No, just a bulk affiliate link. A monochrome Komodo. I remember
your droid voice again.
Oh, am I? Yeah, give me a minute. Maybe I'll come back to reality. Maybe I will. Oh. Oh, you lost your. Let's see. You lost your video feed there. I'm back. Jared finishing. Assuming we can wrestle my camera back from Scott. Let's see. Yeah, Jared, how can one order a red Komodo monochrome? Let's see here.
I think
go
you
full spectrum.
Email Clark.
There you are. Email Clark? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything really happens if you email Clark. That is true. Clark is the guy. Go full spectrum and use your own filtration. Way more fun. That I agree, and I will be having more fun tomorrow. Yes, true.
Curious
Exactly,
to see how
Phil.
that turns out.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yep. See, I did test it with a few single rod manual follow focus units, and it does work. Okay. That's a good point. There's a lot of tilt shift that you can add motors to as well, but there's no zoom tilt shifts that I'm aware of.
Yet.
You know,
There's an idea.
Greg is not doing it for what you know you can do. Greg has built it for the things that you don't know you can do yet. So you have a fourth motor. What are you going to do with it? That's what Greg was doing.
Good point.
Phil says, if I recall, you need to contact Red directly from monochrome bodies because they are made to order. There you go. I could be wrong. Phil is right. Oh, there you go. Phil is right from Jared.
Phil is always
made
right.
to order special. Yeah. Just beep Clark. Thanks, Greg. There we go. Oh, hey, Mikhail. We were just talking about that. You want to ask your question that was asked, Greg?
Oh yeah. How about getting some sort of autofocus information from the through the external port and into the focus motors? So you could have a focus motor focus with the autofocus system of Komodo or any other DSM-C3 camera. Did I phrase it correctly, or?
No, I think you did right. Mikhail, I think to make it, to sum it up, he would love to be able to use red control with autofocus abilities using an external lens motor. So that's maybe face tracking with, something like a cool PL mount so that you have now autofocus PLs. Be kind of cool, Mikhail. What you think? Who is Clark? I'll be at the Horseshoe at NAB. Hey, Art, I'll be at the Horseshoe. Just bring monochrome. I want to bring monochrome. I don't know if you're gonna make me send it back before then. I hope not. I would totally rock around with a monochrome. Clark is well. There you go. Jared says Clark is my VIP rep. He's a rock star. Clark is a rock star who also enjoys cigars. Props. Props. Other good use for a fourth motor is for graduated NDs or variable NDs that you get grip. That's a good point. See, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with that. Clark is red. Red is Clark. Yes, one of us. He must have heard we were talking about him. That's pretty well. Let's see here. Mikhail's. Sorry, I missed any announcement or previous talk. Oh, yeah, no problem. We were introducing Greg's new LensCuff, which is this little device right here, a patented device that allows you to mount. I don't have my B camera. There we go. Boop. It allows you to mount a lens motor directly to a lens. I do it for motion control, basically allowing you to really torque your motors down. You don't have to worry about adapters slipping when you're there's a little bit of play in adapters, so it's attached directly to it. And I think, Mikhail, what he was asking is if there was a way to communicate with focus motors directly from, say, the red external port, and then ultimately go through red control to allow it to do an autofocus like you've adapted. Where I believe the ultimate goal is. But the LensCuff is available very shortly with in a 5-cuff kit. Comes with four cuff kit. That's right. There's 4 spots. I can count. I'm pretty good at this. You get a case. You get free laser etching of your logo on both the foam and on. Show me. That's what was that? You can see. It's just cute. See the little icy films? It's so cute.
Well, on the other side, you get the serial number.
Right. Yeah. So you can see the size of it. And then you get adapters and rods, and I mean, it's just a simple little cool device. Let's see. Phil says, I've tortured Clark with a few last minute things over the years. He's been awesome. Hey, Curtis. That goes
He's awesome.
Craig, look into the moon smart focus system. Interesting. Craig, things looking good for Monday? Let's see. Jed, Pharrell Williams, Rockstar. Yeah. That Clark. I haven't used a Cine tape in a hot minute, but I suspect the horn could be mounted nice and snug to the lens body with the LensCuff.
That's what I did. Cine tape.
Interesting. Did Jared get his LensCuff yet?
Yes, he did.
Jared says, yes, I got the LensCuff. It's also been patiently waiting for it to go live.
Oh, yeah.
Mikhail says, the camera would have to forward pass through commands from the app to the external port. We had something like that for DSMC2. So I guess the question would be, who do we got to sweet talk at Red to get that to do that? I wonder if we know anybody that we could sweet talk to make that happen. And you know what? We probably should just go through Clark. We should go through Clark. He's the Tuesday.
One caveat.
Okay. One caveat. Go for it.
I don't think there's enough. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but there might not be enough space in the Komodo for all of that extra code. Hopefully, there is. I mean, it's not my place to talk about that, but adjust our expectations, maybe.
So Jared says they already allow it. It's not us that do it, but the lens motor company. So basically, a lens motor company needs to just, I guess, receive and translate that protocol or whatever they're using. So interesting. So now we need to go hit up some lens focus motor companies and say, hey.
And at NAB.
NAB does sound like a right place to do that, doesn't it? Oh, and then there is a response there. It shows up on this side, so I can post it. Preston is working on this. Very cool.
Awesome news.
That makes the LensCuff. So Jed asked, how long has LensCuff been researched?
Since 2018 ish. It's been in the back of my head for at least a decade. I've been dealing with ruined footage for at least a decade. So I really started working on it since 2018.
Sorry, I pre-read something. Phil says, Jared, wild question, but if the motors can connect directly to the SMC3 body, would that open up direct iris focus control and maybe autofocus on manual glass? Why wouldn't it? Unless there's a limitation to how many it can address. Team full spectrum. That's what made me laugh. Definitely need to have a team of full spectrums out there. That's yeah, Mikhail, I got them up here, which is hard to see because let me just sell it real quick. But I've got side by side. This is color desaturated in the it was the red. There we go. Or did I go full Star Wars again? There, I'm back. Okay. Phil says, I can see some complications there. but a lot of potential. Jed says, I swear, man. Let's see here.
I think we'd be limited to lenses with eye data so that they can report back the actual distances.
Yeah.
The IRIS.
Which would take, otherwise you'd have to put that information into the firmware or the software. It would have to know that. You'd have to map it. So yeah, that's true. Just needs to translate. There we go. I'm just waiting for it to show up. Just like Canon RF and RF glass, the camera knows iris and focus. The lens motor just needs to translate it. I'm gonna talk with a few companies while I'm. Whoops. Nah, you can calibrate in camera just like Fizz stuff. Also, that's what I thought. iData is a good way too. Interesting. Who's got some cool questions for Greg? Let's see. Moon allows for mapping of older glass. Oh, interesting.
Exactly.
Let's see here. And when, let's see. Let me text somebody real quick. Let's see here. Question for you, Greg. Shooting much or VFX lately, or just Lego?
Well, Lego is always my favorite pastime. Well, until I get my toddler to play with Legos and not eat them.
Well, I mean, yeah, that the secondary part is more important because the first part, you don't really have to put much effort into that. Legos just become a normal thing.
Yeah, and doing some VFX work here and there, nothing major. I mean, I've had my day in the spotlight with some big productions, and they ruined me. Like, I put some 20-hour days for 9, 10 months, 2 years. It was crazy. I mean, Phil knows that all too well.
Yeah, he knows it. Yeah. Okay, just
been playing with a mocap suit.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, well, actually, the Rococo mocap suit. You can ask me any questions you want about it. It's been pretty solid, and the new update is even better.
I saw, which one is it? I don't know, it's escaped my brain. I can't even form the sentence, so I can't. It was the Vive trackers. They now have a point tracker, forget what they're calling it, but it's a very small tracker now. I'm interested.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the Vive ones.
The Vive, Mars Vive, I think it is. You look like Australian comic Elliot Loney. That's interesting.
Oh, I'll have to Google that guy.
To find out exactly if you do look like it.
Yeah, Elliot.
Let's see here. Does Romano work with Daz? What?
You probably mean Rococo.
Rococo. Yeah, there we go. Romano. I was like,
haven't tried it. Yeah, haven't tried it. I could give it a go over the weekend.
Give it a go. That'd be fun. Yeah, motion capture is cool, but I feel like we're almost to the point where optically they're just going to pick up everything perfectly. and not need a suit.
Tried some algorithms. I mean, AI. Oh, what most of you don't know about me, pretty much everybody doesn't know about that. I studied AI in the university, school, whatever you want to call it, for like 4 years back in 1999. Whoa, I'm old. Anyway, so
Not as old as me.
so yeah, we've been debating all these concepts that you see now in Chat GPT or Midjourney or
Right.
DALL-E. Yeah, I wonder if it works with that. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll do whatever test you want.
Assuming they make it extra tall, extra tall.
The suit is stretchy.
Yeah, it's going to have to stretch a lot for Jared. For me, it'd have to stretch two directions, but oh, there. Phil says it does work with Daz.
Okay, then we're gonna have to build sort of like a mannequin, Jared's size, and then try to see if this suit fits.
I don't think they make mannequins Jared size. I think they just say t-shirts. T-shirts and shorts. Excuse me while I go order. I always joke about the big and tall stores shopping because they always assume that you must be big and tall, not just big or tall. It's
A bit of info about the Rococo suit.
yeah.
You could just get a set of sensors and then buy a number of suits, and you can remove the sensors from one and put them into the other. Just make sure you get the glove size you want.
There you go.
Because gloves are not, you can't remove the sensors and put them into another size.
I think I have a Sasquatch rig we can use. I'm Sasquatch size. What is Daz? Asked Jed.
It's what was the other one? With like Poser.
Oh, Poser. Wow.
Yeah, Poser was for like building character rigs, very primitive, as I remember. And then Daz Studio is like a character animator sort of thing. It's fun to use.
Does Daz work with face capture too?
It's gotta. I mean, face capture, you just get a head rig to mount your iPhone. Mm-hmm.
And then you're putting
No,
dots all over your
it's
face.
very well integrated with the iPhone.
Oh.
So you just mount that and you go around. That's a great thing about the Rococo suit. You can just have a mobile rider and just go running out in the wild. Or even put this on what?
Oh, Jared's like, he's just asking before he finishes checking out. he's already got it in his cart. Just wants to make sure. Daz rules. Let's see. Been using Character Creator 4 with Unreal Engine. Yeah, Tim's been doing a lot of Unreal stuff. It's unreal.
You know who we don't have on the live stream?
Who that?
That guy who's got the virtual production studio in Texas that you've been visiting.
Oh, Justin?
Oh, yeah.
I know Justin. I'll be visiting him next week. We'll be
Love what he's been doing.
Oh yeah, he's rocking it. We're gonna chat this weekend and see if we can create some interesting scenes in volume for the monochrome next week. Yeah, we're gonna see what we can do with that because
that would be awesome.
Yeah, contrast we'll have some fun with that. Let's see. Yeah, Justin is going to be on. We are we are always intending to do a live stream from his place and a an actual walkthrough tour of it, because it's a cool place, and I definitely enjoyed shooting there. But timing is timing. I mean, he's actually working quite a bit, which is great. And he's not going to ever not take work so that he can do something for free. So it's always a challenge.
Well, we even had a virtual production project lined up to happen here in Greece, but the clients were afraid of the new technology. They thought it was unreliable, and no major productions in Hollywood would ever use it for anything.
No, it's never been used.
It's just a toy. Unreal is just for games.
I mean, if they sell it on the Disney shelves for souvenirs, Disney doesn't use it themselves. It's not. It's the thing. Yeah. Let's see here. So we are.
Oh, I've got a request for a live stream.
Oh.
With Graham.
Oh, I would absolutely love to, and I have asked, and he would love to. What he's very guarded about, and rightly so, is his knowledge is here. Hold on, that's not fair. I have to do. There we go. His knowledge is out here. His NDA knowledge is out here, and he has to be very, very careful. He doesn't want to put himself in a situation where something gets out. So.
Oh, you mean like Jared?
But Jared is the boss. So if he accidentally goes, whoops, it's kind of the thing, I definitely would love to get Graham on. I don't know if we will be able to do a live stream, but we might be able to do a pre-question presentation. So really just to ask questions and do it, because he's truly A, one of the nicest people on the planet, B, one of the most knowledgeable people on the planet. I mean, he has his own T-shirt. I mean, it's a thing. Would love
Don't
for
mess
him
with
to,
that guy.
Yeah, don't mess with Graham. I don't think that's what it says. Yeah, leave the oops for Jared. Exactly. Okay, so we're getting close here. Why don't you go through the LensCuff? I'm gonna solo you and then kind of walk through it again. Talk about what it does, what it solves, and then what the deal is going to have, and the availability. And then I think we can announce where to go, and we won't list the price here or the discount, but we'll point them to where it is going to be so that everybody can immediately run over and put in their order. So let me solo you. There you go.
Okay, so let me throw in, should I throw in the link in the chat? Or no. Well, you gotta go to the Red Komodo users group or the DSMC3 users group on Facebook. Yep. And Tim and Randy are gonna post about this deal. And it's gonna be about the LensCuff, which is something we talked about during the show, where you can attach focus motors onto your lenses directly, and it solves a whole bunch of issues, and it makes some things a whole lot easier. Like you will never have to skip gears again. There will not be any more of those wobbles of the lens when you change direction with the focus motors, and you could even avoid camera lens mount repairs, which could stall a production. Or you could even miss a shot because it would be out of focus. So that's quite a few things the LensCuff solves. And for the beginning, we'll be offering sets that will be ready to ship around the 10th of April, because we're still waiting for Nano to deliver the cases. But in the meantime, I can custom etch the foam on the inside and a logo right there at the base.
And what are the exclusives that are happening for this initial?
Well, the exclusives are a one-time 35% discount from the original $1,550 price. You get free shipping, and well, I'm throwing in a focus chart. It's pretty good quality. I mean, I've spent about a month getting the right feel to it, and it's got a comic book, comic strip on the back. I'm kind of trying to avoid the reflections. Anyway, so yeah. After that, the discount's gonna go down, and well, we could keep it up for a month through NAB.
And then, so this is a flash sale of, I believe, 72 hours, I think is all it's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's going to start almost immediately after this live stream. And there are 20 kits immediately available on the 10th. Is that right?
Exactly.
Plus or minus a day.
And then the rest, and then the rest are going to take about a month to deliver.
Right. So they can stack up.
Well, yeah.
And so the initial deal is for the 4 kit. Is that correct? Just
Yes, it's a 4 kit. You can either go big or go small. So you could accommodate from 58.5 millimeter diameter lenses all the way to 95, or you could go from 68.5 millimeter diameter lenses all the way to 114. And the set includes the 4 stubby rails, and that's about it. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, we'll be making hoodies and t-shirts. Yeah.
So there are, well, I mean, again, it allows you to have an exceptionally compact and very secure. I tried to bend it. You can't tell on camera, but
couldn't get more solid.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, really well thought out. And, you know, they're like interestingly enough, you know, he has these gaps in his rings, and they're actually perfect for, say, mounting on, let's see if I can see it. So there's a little bump out, which you cannot see. The switch that's right here, well, maybe we can see it from that side. So the switch, and look at that.
Lenses. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. For stills.
Go full screen.
Okay. Do that.
Yeah.
So you could, oops, there we go. So there's the little switch that's right here. It's a little bump out on the Sigma, and that gap is perfect to mate up to all of that, so that you can have a really tight, secure connection. And it is truly tight. And you get the case with the etching, and you get your logo etched up top. You would get it right side up. I would get it upside down. And then the rods just store right inside here. You get 4 of those. You get all the adapter rings go in here. Let's see if we can put all this back in here.
And well, here's the thing. I couldn't get any of the regular phone manufacturers haven't reached out to Jason Cases because it would be rather complicated to get the foam shipped to here and then shipped out again. But nobody could get me that foam organizing that I wanted. So I ended up making the foam myself.
You just wanted to play with lasers.
The idea was I was trying to get around that bump that you just mentioned. So I was thinking, hey, go standard sizes or go up a little bit, and then kind of you might, yes, you can. Yes, you can mount a matte box, unless, of course, it's some vintage lenses or something very special where they're conical and like that, and then you only get a teensy bit at the front where you would attach the matte box. But you could also always, because you don't need the whole width of the LensCuff to attach, you could just attach a little bit of on the front rim and then attach the matte box as well. I've tried that.
And then for those, these adapters are, stop doing that. they're extremely strong, but they have memory, so they go right back. They are, I mean, they're really, really well engineered.
Yeah, actually, I researched the material a lot. You could say it's over-engineered, but you can never get it too over-enginered.
Any lenses that you know of that you don't cover for LensCuff?
Well, I tried it on the Laowa nanomorphs. You just use a step down and they go down to 16 millimeters, and that works out perfectly. I tested it on the Ciruis. I tested it on the, what was it? All of the, even the micro foot thirds and the full frame Cirui anamorphics. And then all the Ingenieur Zooms, the Fuji Premises, the, what is it, Lates Summicron Cs.
So, I mean, if there's a gap or if there's a space on a lens that's this wide, and I know that's, I don't know what the exact millimeters is here, but if there's a spot on a lens anywhere that is that wide, you can mount the LensCuff to it if the diameter matches.
You could always cut it.
Yeah, that's true.
With the Dremel, preferably, because your scissors are not going to make it.
Right. Phil, Tim's asking if you have found any lenses that it doesn't work on. I'm not sure it would work on the Laowa probe lens.
Haven't tried it, to be honest.
I can go find it. I don't know that it will, because that's a tiny. You'd have to make a micro cuff.
Challenge accepted.
The child size cuff.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of making like a sort of like a gadget for NAD or something, like a tiny LensCuff.
Yeah, I would have to. Well,
Like
you would need to print a giant version of this, or a very thick version.
Well, actually, you could even 3D print spacers.
Ah.
They're the simplest thing you could have.
And this one the smallest one, if I remember correctly. This is the
65 millimeter one.
Let's see. I have to put on my cheaters. Yeah, 65.
65, and then it could go all the way down to 58 and a half.
With the adapters. And then, so a 3D printed one would probably work on the, well, 3D printed might, you might be able to get it on there. Yeah.
I shouldn't be looking down there because that's where my computer is. I shouldn't be looking that way because that's where Scott is. Oh,
yeah. You're not paying attention to me now. I'm hurt. This whole time. I thought you were talking to me. That's funny. Yeah, so Red Komodo users and Red DSMC3 is the group that this is all going to be posted in, and how to order.
It's already?
I don't know, is it? We haven't ended yet, but it will be in mere moments, I'm told. 72 hours for the super deep discount. 20 sets in stock, ready to go on the 10th by a day or so, I guess, depending on when Nanook gives you your parts. And you get the exclusives, which is the little show it, the little focus chart with the comic on it, and you get
laser etching,
laser
customizing
etching
of the case.
Greg gets to play with the laser. That's an exclusive.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jen wants to know,
I tested?
can we get a list of supported lens? Sorry for the cat. I guess we could.
I tested it on the Zeiss Supreme Primes. Well, actually, if you see a front diameter that corresponds to one of the LensCuffs or the adapted LensCuffs with the spacers, then you could easily just mount it to the front of the lens, like to the front of the barrel, and then just swoop down with a rail. So it could practically mount to any lens where you would mount a matte box, and it has more than 1 centimeter to mount on it.
Is it 1 centimeter? That's the dimension? Okay. So one centimeter of mostly contiguous space, because there is a little bit of a gap you could put in there, and 114 millimeters in diameter, then you could adapt and put it on there and lock it up. Cinema-wise, so far it works decently well. Super compact lenses, a little tricky. Yeah, if there's very little space in there, I mean, this is a horrible example. You would not put it on this because this is a horrible lens, but this lens literally has no place. Well, you could. No, that'd be hard. I mean, the shape of this lens, it doesn't work for it. But you know, that's a stills lens, macro 100 Canon standard. The Sigma's easy. There's the Sigma, and I just happened to find a nice little spot for it. And I was like, cool, that works just fine. And I could put the zoom on there. Yep.
One more thing, one more problem that it solves. Sometimes when you use an anamorphic adapter at the front of the lens, the motor, and it's a focusing adapter, like you forget all about focusing on the taking lens and you use the anamorphic adapter to focus, then the focus motor may rotate the entire adapter. So you could just mount it directly onto the adapter.
Keep that in mind. If it's a two-part system, mount it on the part that you want to control, right? LensCuff for Revar Cine lenses. Does Revar make
You
lenses?
mean the miniature ones?
Oh, good call, Miguel. You know, if he sells enough of them, then maybe he can make a limited edition. You know what?
I really want to do that.
You know, you only need an adapter and it works right out of the box. That's awesome.
But then we'd need a miniature focus motor.
I think it could be done. That's awesome. Mikael coming in for a good little chuckle at the end there. Okay, well, let's think of the mini rods. Oh, yeah, what would be the diameter? So this is 1/4 scale. So the rods would need to be 3.75 millimeter That's tiny. Unless you're doing the large rods. we, we need full rigs.
Well, if you
Oh.
use the adapter on the 16 mil or the 65 mil LensCuff, and you use a larger spacer on it, then you could use regular 15 mil rods, and then just mount. But is it 0.8 mod gear on the Rebel Cine lens?
Well, it is, except it's scale.
Oh,
So
so it's a 0.4. So it's a 0.4.
well, it would be 0.2 because it's 1/4 size, right? Or was it?
And the rig nuts, yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can mount this on here. it's a good challenge. Let's see. We'll do with that one. Ooh, we might be there. Let's see how close we get. Just a little bit more. Just add one more. Yep. As everyone hears my chair squeak like crazy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we got this. Now it's just too much fun. Okay, I need to move that right around.
Next up, a Lego version of it.
The
Because
Lego
I made a
LensCuff.
Lego Komodo.
I need to use just a little bit smaller. No, I mean, we're basically there. I just gotta unscrew this a little bit more.
Gaff tape?
Gaff tape. Too far. Yeah, I just need to use the right spacer.
Yeah, apply the gaff tape to the inside of
Oh,
the spacer,
yeah.
and then you could.
Just put my little.
Even with gaff tape on top of the spacer, it is not moving. Tested it on car rigs.
Right.
So yeah, I feel quite confident about that.
There we go. Let's see if I can do this. Just need a thinner. Oh, I put them all in there, didn't I? That's why they're all missing. That's what I'm looking for right there. That little guy. So I need this one and this one. We're going to make Mikhail happy today. Mikhail's made so much of us happy over the years, so
Oh yeah, he has.
it's time to give back a little bit. Okay, right there. Oh, come on now.
Well, I don't think you get enough thanks. I really enjoy the live streams. So you actually make every cinematographer happy every Friday.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you to say. I appreciate that. I really do. I
Well,
do it
it's good.
for
I'm
the.
looking forward to it.
I do it for the smiles. There we go. It's mounted. It's solid. You can unscrew the entire lens. Ask and it shall be done.
Well, actually, I was thinking of a half-scale one, and well, the wing nuts would be just a single-piece machined something.
You would need little tiny hands that you could adjust the wing nuts. You could use this guy to. He looks just like me, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did. So cute.
Let's see. Let's see. So I have to be in a Facebook group for the flash sale. Yes, for the initial sale. Eric, just if you don't use Facebook, just create a Facebook just for this. You don't have to give it to your family and friends, and then join the group, and then you can get in on the deal. Let's see. So kit as standard look, pretty diverse. Yep. In terms of what comes with the LensCuff, yes. Tim says, wow. Or,
Yeah,
wow.
he's talking about the river Cine.
Yeah, Scott makes Fridays fun. Ryan Avery would be proud. Yeah, I'm totally taking a picture of that too. Craig says an M30 would work on that. Ooh.
Exactly.
Or just, okay, so you may DM me, Eric, and I will get you the details. It's a benefit for a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but it's a benefit for the community. That's part of what those Facebook groups are, is to build the community. And I mean, all of the deal is Greg's here. This is no one but his. But Eric, if you want to direct message me, I'll get you the details. I'm allowed to convey that. Mikhail says, yes, everyone should thank Gregory for the very generous discount. It is an extreme discount.
Well, thank Tim and Randy and Scott for getting this all together, because I wouldn't be able to.
I mean, it's a cool product. It really well, I mean, every one of you has the benefit of seeing and hearing from those of us who've been using it, how we're using it. But it's not until you get it in your hands that you realize that you can use it in so many times, so many different places, to just save this or save that, or a little bit of weight, a little bit of size. I mean, just a little bit of confidence. That's really what it comes down to.
The only thing it won't really work with is if you have to do quick lens changes, unless you get
two of the same lens, Cuff.
Two of the same lens, or a whole set filled with the same size, which will be available after the flash sale.
Yeah, I mean, rental houses, just put one on every lens. You could definitely do that. Make it available. So yeah,
and just message me, and I will make custom-sized inserts.
Right.
If there's enough requests.
Yeah, if there's a size that isn't like, if you like the 18-35, he's going to make one that fits that one. If there's a size that isn't there, he really did cover like 95% of the adaptions that you would ever need to make. But it's the ones you don't know, and he'll work on that. So I think we can wrap this up unless you have more things you want to chat about. No, you're good. So again, let's I want to thank Greg for A, coming on the live stream, B, making a product, and really Greg for being part of the community. And I don't just mean this community or the Facebook group communities, but the community of filmmakers and Red and Komodo users, and just you are literally part of a family of people that all you're really trying to do is make things just a little bit better, solve problems, and that I thank you, and I'm sure everyone else thanks you as well, for using your love of the community to solve a problem, and then bringing that love back to the community with a pretty deep discount at first. Let's see here.
You're welcome.
Greg, hope to see you at NAB.
Yeah, hope to see you at NAB.
Tim says, yep, everyone can find Scott and I. Well, everyone will find Scott because I appear above everybody else, and Tim will be right along there. And we'll have the LensCuff with us walking around. Jared says, congrats again, Gregory. It's hard making stuff, and you knocked it out of the park. That is very, very true. It is extremely difficult. I know this much about making stuff, but I talk to a lot of people who make stuff, and I know the growing pains that Greg had to go through, and all the head slams into the desk. That it is very hard to bring stuff to market, and you did it. It's, again, another congrats.
Appreciate that, Jared. Whole lot more than you can imagine.
Jared says I can keep the monochrome monochrome whatever until NABs.
Monochrome.
Komodochrome is what that's the nickname that everybody's been giving. Monochrome. There it is. That's it. Let's see. Tim said, yep, okay. Fantastic work, Greg. Very useful and very well made, says Phil. Art says, awesome stream to both of you. Yep. What's the name? The LensCuff is the name of this. And the Facebook groups are Red Komodo Users Facebook group and Red DSMC3 / V-RAPTOR user group. And then I'm going to mispronounce his name, but it's Karydis. Gregory
Caridis. Whatever. Yeah, closer. Don't worry.
There we go. That's all right.
Hold on.
Don't get my name right either.
We can share. Let's see if we can share the link to the group.
Post it in the StreamYard because it won't post on YouTube, and I can post it then.
Yeah,
if you go to the, because it won't allow links. Let's see.
Okay.
That's a great short.
Oh man, I can't find it.
Is LensCuff mainly for
Tim?
It doesn't matter, Jed. Oh, thank you. Eric.
Doesn't matter. That's why it's not called the focus cuff or the IRIX cuff.
Nice. You've thought about this.
No, I just came up with it. Not sure. Message me and I will post it on StreamYard.
Facebook message me the link, Tim, and I will post it here in the YouTube because it blocks it because of all the scammers out there. And Eric, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Celebrate the first super chat from Eric. That's funny. YouTube's like, you should celebrate. I am celebrating, yeah. Eric. Thank you, Eric. Let's see here. I'm looking for, let's see if I get the link and then I can post. No, I said Facebook message me. This is Windows.
If you'd like, we could also do another live at some point where we talk about VFX.
Oh, yeah. We could definitely do that.
If there's enough interest.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there is. If you want to do a deep dive and all that, let's see here. Let's go to here.
And
there's
compositing.
There we go. So there's copy link. So I'm going to place this one right here. Okay, that's the first one. And then copy this one right here. There. Okay.
Oh, you're doing your droid voice again.
Oh, I'll give you a moment there. How about now? Should be better. Depends. Maybe. Is it better? You can hear me now? Can you hear me now? And then there's the other group. Can you hear me? Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the two groups, Red Komodo Users and Red DSMC3 Users group on Facebook. Ooh. That was fun. What are you pointing at?
Oh, yeah. The links are gone.
Oh, here. There you go. Now point to it. Yeah, right there. Right there's one of them. And then there's this one right here. What's this one right here? Yeah, point to there. And yeah, it should be up here shortly. They're waiting for someone to get back to do the final post, but then that'll be up. And then, yeah, Greg, anything else you want to say before?
No, nothing else.
So,
well, other than thank you again for the live stream. Not just for this one, but all the ones before and the ones that come after.
My pleasure, honestly. And then I definitely, I think there'll be a lot of interest in you doing a VFX one. So we can bring you in on that, and you can dive into all the deep details of your long history.
As soon as I get the production rolling, we could even do one with the suit and the monitor, so you can see how it live streams the mocap data into a 3D character.
Ooh. And then we could have Jared upload his, because he'll have his suit by then.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome. Eric, I'll make sure they approve you. I know people. Okay,
Tim,
so
I message you.
there you go.
Give me a moment.
Sure.
Tim, I message you. Awesome. You're definitely going to enjoy the suit.
Red Legos and monochrome for the. It's so true, so true. But red monochrome Legos. Ooh, what about that?
Actually, I've been using the LensCuff on pretty much every Lego stop motion thing I did.
Oh, that's funny.
If you've seen some of what
I have seen some of them.
Yeah.
I like stop motion.
Yep.
And look at the LensCuff works on the Cine.
Cine.
All right. Well, thank you, Greg, for joining us, and your incredible invention and your generosity in your massive flash sale at the beginning. And I hope it does wonderful things, and I hope you continue to innovate. And I can't wait to have you back on soon, and we'll talk VFX and talk about how LensCuff is doing too. And again, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I'll drop you out. Yeah, I'll drop you out to the bottom, but I'll close out, then I'll come right back to you. And so let's see here. There we go. And so remember to subscribe and head over to those 2 Facebook groups. They are linked in the here, and I will put them on the chat or in the description as well. At the end, that should be live here shortly. You guys jump in on your LensCuffs exclusive deal, and make sure you let them know what you want your laser etching to be, and support the channel any way you want. Memberships, like Greg. Greg has been a fantastic membership member. He's top tier. He's been a big supporter, and I greatly appreciate his support of the channel, and all of you other supporters in all the little ways that you support. Thank you so much. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Or LensCuff.